Hey everyone, and welcome to another bonus episode in the Null Channels Rust class. Now, I just wanted to touch base on something I find interesting and wanted to dig and expand on more. In the next episode, in lesson 2, you're going to start to learn about a couple of tools and ways Rust learns to test the code. And in that, you're going to find that Clippy, a really awesome tool, doesn't like you to use the return statement at the end of a function. And I kind of wanted to go into my thoughts on why that might be that the community doesn't like it. And I wanted to sit here and explore some of the code, and you're gonna learn a thing or two about Rust, and I think it will be really helpful to everyone. So here we have these two functions. They do the exact same thing. This one returns by leaving the semicolon off and not saying a return statement. This one here explicitly says return the integer 1 plus integer 2. And we can use these and they work the exact same way. So let's do this. Let number equal 5. And then we're going to do just let number 2 equal add. We're just going to add those two numbers together. We can just quickly copy and paste this because all we're going to do is do add 2, and we're going to update this to number 3. Let's just print these out so we understand what's going on. Let's run this and just make sure it's doing what we wanted. And yeah, the first number is 5. The other two are 10 because we're adding them together. This makes sense. What I've been saying is, why does Clippy not like this? And again, this is maybe my personal theory, but in my theory, it's grounded in actual observation. And I think those observations are things you can learn from. So stick with me because we're actually going to cover something pretty interesting here. Let's write this function another way. Let number 4 equal number plus number. Wait, does that actually work? Can I do this? Can I assign number 4 to just a random scope? Visual Studio Code already knows that it's an i32. Let's go ahead and print this out and just make sure that it's what we expect it to be. All right, let's run it. Check that out. How exciting is that? Now obviously this isn't a function, it doesn't take two parameters. It's literally just taking this number. But you get the point. Everything is assignable. Everything can be assigned and boils down to. So what do I mean by that? Let's take this to the extreme. All right, I have a whole lesson on match, so we'll get into that, but it's kind of like a switch statement in another language. I say kind of, very loose, don't equate it to that. I now regret that I actually said those words. Please don't hate me forever. But match is a very powerful thing. It's going to match this on this list here. And look what we've done. We've assigned it. We have assigned the output of this match, whatever this matches to this. And it knows that it's an i32. How exciting is that? How awesome is that? Now, we could obviously say 6 there. And now we would expect this to print out 0 because number is 5. So it doesn't match any of these things over here. Change that to 6 to make it. So we would expect it to print out 0, right? Let's actually try to use number 5. Let's run it. Beautiful. This is beautiful. You're starting to see what we can do here with Rust. Now, I bet you believe when I said anything, you're like, yeah, not anything. I bet you an if statement doesn't work. Really? Really? You'd distrust me that much. You think I would mislead you. All right, let's go do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let number 6 equal if number is equal to 5, or let's say is equal to 3. Let's not do the easy case. If number is equal to 3, let's just make it 5. Number 6, 5. And then, let's do an else statement. Else 100. 100 is good. We'll put a little curly braces on there. Let's print this out just to prove it. But you notice Visual Studio has already said I'm right, and you've already lost. It already knows it's an i32. Number is an i32, and we assigned it to an if statement. How cool is this? How cool is this? I want you to get comfortable with this because this is really powerful. it can possibly be abused, but it's also really powerful. Are you guys ready to run it? Are you ready? Do you think I'm wrong? Number 6 is 100. That's because it evaluated this if statement and assigned it to this variable. This is super powerful. Just absolutely mind-boggling powerful. Now, again, I say that it can be abused. I've seen it be abused. I have been the abuser of this feature. And you'll ask me, how does this equate to functions? Well, if you'll notice a theory here, we don't say return. And the reason we don't say return is because return would be leaving this function. And so you can't do that here. So to make these all work, it's just the last value in that scope. And that's how these work. And because that's how these work, that has to also work for functions. Now, why Clippy gets mad at explicitly saying return here, I don't know that for certain. And honestly, I think it's fine. I still do it a lot. And I don't dislike it. I'm trying to get more okay with being okay with this and just doing this because that's the standard thing in the community. I don't see the harm in this. I disagree with Clippy. One thing with Clippy, one thing. It's pretty good. It's a great tool. Check out my next lesson. You'll learn all about Clippy and how it just really does not like this. And it's going to be really great. But that's it for me today. I wanted to show you this powerful tool of Rust where you can actually assign anything you want to any variable that you like. And it's going to evaluate that out. And we're going to use that and it's going to be super powerful. So thank you. As always, if you did not like learning this cool new trick about Rust, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, stick around and see all the other cool little tricks that you're going to miss and never use in Rust.